Hello and welcome to Horrific Horror Review. I'm Jim King.
I'm Eric B.
Today we're going to talk in the woods.
In the woods.
Things that have happened in the woods.
I like that's it. You know what? When you said that just before we started recording, you were like, "In the woods." That sounds like a good title for a movie,
Right?
Just in the woods. That's pretty fucking good.
It paints a picture. You know what's going to happen, right?
A lot of horror movies take place in the woods.
Yes.
A lot of camping movies. A lot of going to camp.
Camps.
A lot of people just camping. A lot of people winding up in the woods. Broken down cars and shit.
Yeah.
Plane crashes.
Wrong
shit
turns.
Like that. Wrong turns.
Literally.
Then again, there are just people who, live near the woods. They're just they're already in that environment.
So I'm going to start it off with my favorite one. Well, I have several, as everything, but the one that popped in my mind immediately after thinking Friday the 13th, because that's obviously
the first one.
It was the first one that popped
There's two that pop up immediately to me.
But after that, the first one that I thought of that I've liked for years and years and years. I have a whole list, but the one that really stood out immediately for me when you brought up the idea was Evil Dead.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's and when I say that, I truly actually mean Evil Dead 2.
Evil Dead 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I love Evil Dead. I mean, I love 2. I love Army of Darkness, but Evil Dead 2 is the fond one in my heart. It's the
best one.
It's got so much goodness in it.
That's when Ash became Ash.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. When he
became
the chainsaw, the fucking cutting off the hand, the crazy overacting. Just the best. It was just the best.
He created a character, Bruce Campbell.
He did.
And Sam Raimi created a character with Ash that, I don't know, there's a lot of Jack Burton.
Right.
I think Jack Burton was influenced by that character. The goofy hero.
Yeah.
The imperfect hero. Super cool.
With the strong chin.
With a great chin, the best chin.
Right.
Great facial features on what I liked a lot. I know this is off topic, but speaking of Bruce Campbell, The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr.
Oh, I remember it.
1 season, amazing fucking show, Western.
It had a lot of
really cool
science elements to it.
A lot of weird steampunk shit. Yeah.
That orb thing with all the things coming out of it.
One of my favorite episodes was the one. It ended. There was some new fabric. That they were, talking about. It was super resistant and didn't rip and shit. And at the end of the episode, you find out it was denim. It was pretty cool.
Right.
Evil Dead 2. Fucking, I love that show. That's the one. That's the one. Cabin in the woods. The woods are a huge horror element in that movie. The woods themselves are a huge part of the horror in that movie.
Attempted raping a girl.
They did in the first one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The first one, the woods actually rape a girl and turn her demon-y. They possess her through.
Those demons are great too, with the overabundance of blue makeup and the cackling. Those girls did a great job.
Those girls
the evil laughs.
Evil Dead 1 did a fucking amazing job getting you to be scared of them.
Yeah.
Who's scared of a little girl? Skinny little girl.
Me.
I am now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because those girls were creepy as shit.
Right?
Yeah. The girl on the floor. The laughing girl. I forget which character
Sitting down on the floor.
She's just
Indian
terrifying.
style cackling. Yeah, she terrified me.
She does eventually end up in the fruit cellar, doesn't she?
I believe so.
She's the one banging on the door.
Later on, it's Grandma.
Later on, it is Grandma.
Yeah.
She finally, after Ash...
Who's my fruit cellar?
Dear God, forgive me. I buried her in the earthen floor of the fruit cellar.
Right.
Whoa, fuck!
So, everybody's probably already seen it. It's probably funner to go through a list than to actually describe every movie. But these are the woodsy movies that come to mind for me.
Evil Dead 2.
Evil Dead 2. That was first off.
I liked that movie a lot. So what's your favorite part about that movie?
That's a hard question, but I think it's his struggle with himself when he's got to cut off his own hand and he's fighting with
the
it.
Possession,
and he's like he's trying to shoot it when it's crawling through the walls, and it's like fucking teasing
his
him.
hand,
his hand, yeah. I liked that, and the camera work, the zooming in, crazy, dizzy, fucking.
Sam Raimi made a really cool way of directing a movie.
Yeah,
like
it felt so low budget, but at the same time had top notch stuff. It was like I was looking at it.
They did so much with so little.
Yeah. I mean, there was barely even any furniture in that cabin. It was like
little.
A weekend at a thrift store, and you could take care of it for a couple $100 probably.
The second one too. Was it's in one location, and it's real small and claustrophobic. But at the same time, there are so many hallways in this fucking house. And
it does seem to have a lot of rooms all of a sudden that didn't exist
it's like,
from the outdoor look.
Like, yeah, you look at this cabin from the outside, and it looks pretty spare. And then once he starts getting chased through this place, it almost doesn't make make sense. You know what I mean? Like if you were to see the layout of this house, it wouldn't match the outside, which is one of the things that was really weird about this movie. You know what I mean? Like that made it seem like this house isn't natural.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like right away, there's something off about this fucking house.
Right.
Yeah. What's your next one?
My next one is like a 5-way tie, but I'm going to go with the one. I love Cabin in the Woods, but we just talked about a Cabin in the Woods, so I'm going to go with my other favorite.
Well, that's a whole other cabin with a whole other story, though.
I'm going to go with Wolf Creek.
Yeah.
That
was scary.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so fucking real.
Australia.
There's no monster. You're in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
There's people that are super twisted, fucked up like that really, if they put their mind to it, they could prey on those situations. And I mean, just seeing that guy's stash of like wallets and video cameras and tents and cars.
So what was this guy doing? That guy,
Mick?
Yeah.
What was he doing?
Yeah.
What was his?
What's the story of Wolf Creek?
Well, okay, well. He's preying on people, but he used to be a sharpshooter.
Like in the outback, or like,
yes,
like in the way outback,
way the fuck outback. Okay. It's Wolf Creek is a.
I've only seen it once, and it was a while ago.
Wolf Creek is a meteor impact that you got to drive for like 6 hours from the last town to get to,
like in the outback,
outback, yeah, and it's a huge meteor
like
crater.
Outback Steakhouse, outback,
outback, like the Aborigines won't go there.
Oh, right.
There's no fucking trees.
There's no reason to go
fucking water. No, I mean, it's flat land for as far as you can see with like this crater.
That's awesome.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
And it's a great tourist destination.
Okay.
But when you get there, you have to park your car and then hike up the lip of the crater and then hike down into the crater to hang out.
Okay.
There's signs visibly everywhere where you're not supposed to camp. So you're not supposed to like set up and really stay there.
So you're not supposed to stay the night.
Right.
You can go and leave.
And so what this fucking asshole does is he waits for people to go up into this crater, messes with their fucking car, then leaves. Comes back like 4 hours later in the middle of the night and is like, "What's wrong with you tourists? You're broke down? Let me help you out." And he offers to tow their car to his place and fix their car, being a really nice guy. And this guy has a great fucking personality. Like, he's real likable in a creepy Aussie way.
He really freaked me out.
He tells a lot of really good jokes, and
he gave me the willies.
Yeah. And I mean, they try to hesitantly get him to like tow their car to town as opposed to his house.
For sure.
And he's like, "But I'm going south and town's north." So, and he's real amicable. Yeah, he's like, "You can fucking stay." And it's no shit off my back. I'm leaving and going that way.
He gives them the option to bow out.
Totally. And then,
which it kind of makes you think, well, he did. You know, he didn't like beat us over the head. Like, you know, he's just trying. I guess he is just trying to help us.
So he drags him back. He tows him back to this place that is like a giant junkyard of stuff. And at first you just think it's a junkyard.
Right.
But it's actually like the laid to waste of all his other victims. And
nobody pulls up and goes,
oh, there's no
where'd all this shit come
No, and it's like it's tucked into like a little cusp of a mountain in the edge, and he's built a wall across the front. So from the outside, it just looks like a closed junkyard kind of entrance.
Okay.
Like there's nothing visible from anywhere but a plane.
Okay.
And still, even from a plane, it would just look like a couple shacks in a junkyard and like half broken down cars and stuff. He has the actual working cars that he's taken from people in a garage. He's got 20 cars in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And just, he's got shelves and shelves of like people's video cameras because they're all tourists out there, you know? And he's got their wallets and their IDs and their tents and their like, and it's semi-organized even. It's so fucking creepy how everything's hung out.
Here's where the tents go.
Yeah, and I mean, so, and what he does is he roofies you. He's got a big thing of water, and he's like, drink as much water as you want, and then you wake up, and you're fucking tied up, and, you know, one of the girls that, it really sets the mood is you wake up, and there's, this girl is being, you know, kind of ridiculed by him. He's like fake pointing a gun at her, and he's shaking his knife, and she's tied up, and you see another girl tied up in the exact same fashion. The bottom half of her fucking body's gone now. Her fucking, she's zombied up, and he starts laughing and saying she lasted a couple months.
Wait, when you say the bottom half of her body is gone,
he let the dogs eat it. Like
bones
it's shredded,
too?
hanging down. Yeah, the bones are gone because it's fallen off. It's picture from the waist up, intact, kind of mummified though because it's out in the Australian outback. Cured,
and she's
like
dead.
Beef jerky. She's dead now.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But he said that he played with her and had fun with her for months. She lived for months.
Wow.
So it added that extra element of, oh, he's not going to kill you right now. He's going to torture you and, you know, sexually abuse you and fucking, and then feed you and water you and do it again tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was real fucked up. And then it was like,
oh my God.
Yeah. And he's got other girls. And then like the dude that was in the party, he wakes up, similar situation. He's in like a cave thing. Okay. And there's dudes fucking tied up around him, and the bottom halves of them are all shredded. And these dogs are fucking growling at him. So you immediately know that these dogs got to eat these dudes alive.
And they're all, he's the only live one in there.
Yeah.
Or is there kind of a half
I want to say one half alive person, like gasps for air, right, when he thinks everybody's dead or something.
So too, yeah.
But don't hold me to that. But
no,
I think,
don't hold me to it either.
Because I've watched a bunch of movies in the last couple of days, and like that's happened a couple times. So. But yeah, Wolf Creek, I think for me it really hits home because I like hitting out of the way tourist traps. My mom gave me this. My mom made a book for me one Christmas. It was really cool. She cut out paper clippings from the newspaper of the back road adventures of Arizona.
Too fun.
And it was like a weekly thing that they had in the newspaper. And she cut them all out and then put them in a binder.
No way.
And she's like, "Here, this is for you and your kid. You know, get lost each weekend somewhere."
Out.
Yeah. And if it wasn't 120 fucking degrees, I'd be doing it. But
I hear ya.
But so for me, it really. A lot of times I leave my car parked with no one there and I go on this adventure. And what would you do if you came back and you've got no cell signal and your car's fucking broke and it's broke on something that you can't easily remedy being a handyman, you know? And then this guy pulls up and offers to give you a ride. Yeah. You're fucked into taking it pretty much, you know? Like, what if you... You know, in my mind, I'm like, what if this legit nice guy, I turn him down for a ride, the next person that comes is a bunch of assholes with guns and shit, and I should have took the first
You
ride.
gotta figure, you're in the real world, you're not thinking psycho killer.
I am.
You know what I am too. I am
Especially if I'm with my kid, you know what I mean?
I'm always looking at the other person, you know, like, what are your intentions?
Exactly.
Anyone I don't know.
Yeah,
and
these days it's hard to accept gracious.
But I was raised to be that way. My dad
me too. I stop and help people with flat tires and stuff too. But
helpful, but also leery of everyone.
Totally.
Because if you don't know them, you don't know them.
Right.
Do you know? Right. Period. You know.
And
it's a safe way to be.
Really put on that good front most of the time. I mean, like they say, Ted Bundy was the most likable fucking guy in the world.
They say a lot of those guys are very charming.
Exactly, you know? And that's how they get the accumulated numbers.
The most manipulative people look for what you need and make it available.
Right.
in a way that
Because we're all
seems
emotional
realistic.
hookers.
You know, like what you need. You know, like a toe. You know,
Yeah.
like fucking yeah. And there's things
Whoa.
you can do to a car. Whoa, what was that?
I tried to take my pen out of my pad and I just threw it at you. I have no idea why that just
Here,
happened.
I got another
I was
pen.
fucking possessed by a ghost. I pulled my pen out and threw it at you.
That's all right.
Fuck. All right. So what about you? What's on your firstie list? There's my top 2. I got a
Wolf
list.
Creek came to mind, but like I didn't put it on my list because I was sure you would talk about it because you were the one who introduced me to it. I had never seen it, and I only saw it like 6 months ago, maybe.
Such a believable character.
And you know, it was 6 months ago, and like I don't know, it was the first time I've seen it, and I don't remember a whole lot about it. I think because I was moving in when I watched it.
Gotcha.
But it was. I need to watch it again because you make it sound fucking awesome.
It is, and part 2 is really good too. By the way, it's a
different story,
the same
but
character?
It's really good.
Yeah.
Prequel,
different
or
victims,
sequel.
Just sequel, different victims. It could be even parallel.
Awesome.
Yeah, and that one's kind of fun. He's such a twisted fuck, and on a side note, I've been thinking about getting Shudder. I was telling you about that streaming
service. Yeah.
And
ever since that Billy Bob thing.
Yeah, that's what started it for me too.
I was like, I can't watch this.
Yeah. And I was thinking that I was going to be gone at Mad Monster all weekend, so I really wouldn't be able to take advantage of it. And I'm like, but this is 24 hours. It's all night. I might be needing something to watch at night, so I might get it anyway. But one of their Shudder exclusive
they'll have to make it available again afterward. They'll have to.
They have a Wolf Creek series.
Oh.
And I read a little. I haven't seen any of it, but I read a little
series?
write-up on
like
it.
TV series?
Yeah.
No.
And it's a girl, a sister of like one of the victims, that's headed out in the outback to hunt dude.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting, yeah. So maybe good, maybe not. What else you got?
Well, it's obviously summertime. Like the summer's being thrown in my face with 4th of July and shit. You know, which was
and the excessive heat when we walk outside.
You know, it's like summer horror movies. You know, we just did Return of the Living Dead, which is the 4th of July.
Day before.
So I was like, we can't really night of, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 4th of July morning, fireworks.
Yeah. Like I love that thing where it says like 5:30 p.m. July 3rd, fucking blah blah, and they show the warehouse, and then it's that night is the morning of 4th of July. That is a good summer one.
I watched Meatballs too. Meatballs, man. I was like, man, it's summertime if I'm watching Meatballs, brother.
Nice.
And so, that's why camping came to mind. So, and you know what? The first one that came to mind was Sleepaway Camp.
Right.
I'd never seen Sleepaway Camp till well into my 30s. It just didn't seem like a horror movie I wanted to see. It just nothing about it struck me as being like, I don't know, it just didn't hit me. You know, the trailers I saw weren't like, Eric, come see this.
I felt exactly the same way and still do. Confession, never seen it.
Oh, okay.
Never seen it.
You're not.
But I know it's on my list.
Look, man.
I know what it is.
Is right, shocking. Right. It's that shocking fucking crying game fucking ending. Right? Fucking shit.
Oh, what?
Don't. But other than that, like, it's just a slasher, not a particularly good one. Other than that, holy fuck, they've never done this before ending.
Right.
The sequel, on the other hand, which I am much more familiar with. I've seen it
right?
more. There are many.
Four?
There are many. The first one is like a straight slasher flick. I don't remember seeing it with any kind of hint of more than normal humor in a slasher movie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The second one is much more of a spoof of horror the genre. Period.
Okay.
I remember the cover of the VHS box being the girl, the killer, with the backpack with Jason's hockey mask
and Freddy's
fucking claw.
I loved that box cover.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And I saw that, Sleepaway Camp 2. And I was like, I'm going to have to watch Sleepaway Camp 1 to get to this.
Right.
And I was that kind of person. You know, I couldn't just
you can't watch 2
jump
first. In. Yeah.
I'm not like that now.
You don't
I'm
care
much
now?
more. No, if it looks good and I'm not, if you know, if that were me now, I would just watch Sleepaway Camp 2. And if I liked it, I'd go back to 1. You know what I mean? I don't torture myself with bad movies anymore just to get, to a good one. But yeah, Sleepaway Camp 2 was what came to mind. And it was 2 that I saw most. And 2's worth watching, man. I wouldn't put you through 1.
Okay.
You could skip it. There are better slasher movies, dude.
For sure.
But, and especially if you know the ending, you're not going to be like, oh my God. But 2 is kind of fun. I saw it on Sci-Fi Channel a few years ago, one summer. Like after work, all hot and sweaty, fucking miserable, fucking put that on. I was like, why not? Finally. I'm 35 years old. I need to just do this.
Right. Right. Commit, goddammit.
Fuck.
Right.
Maximum effort, dude. And I fucking forced myself through it. I only forced myself through the first 10 minutes, and I was into it. You know what I mean? It's pretty fun. It's some pretty good gore, and she's kind of fucking nuts. Like she's crazy character, kind of a fun character. A lot of good gore. The more I think about it, the more it's like, yeah, there was really good gore in that movie. But Sleepaway Camp 2 was the one that's been bugging me all week. There's a fucking. I wanted to ask you. There's a Jack Palance movie.
I love that guy.
Oh fuck! I didn't write it down. Did I? Shit. He's in a what I would call a camping movie. It was from the 80s. You talk about a movie, and I'll see if I.
Crystal, right?
No, it's definitely not City Slickers. No, it's a kind of a. That's funny. They do camp.
They do camp.
Yeah, that's City Slickers. It gets pretty tense.
Right.
No, it's they kind of play it as a Bigfoot movie, and it turns out it's an alien that everybody's been mistaking for
Holy
Bigfoot.
Fuck, you've lost me all over.
Oh, this is weird,
Jack
man.
Palance.
Yeah,
I like him. He's a creepy old fuck.
Without Warning. That's the name. That's the name of it. I
Warning.
don't even need to look it up. It just popped up in my brain.
All right.
It's called Without Warning, and which was a weird. It sounds like the title of, I don't know, like an 80s legal thriller.
Or a really bad 90s Will Smith movie.
So yeah, dude, right? Like Will Smith, Michael Bay, Without Warning, Cindy Crawford plays fucking dumb tits, like that.
Yeah.
It's
Special
not.
appearance.
It's just.
Gene Hackman.
It's this really, yeah. It's this, yeah, he's the bad guy. It's this really weird. See, you can make Michael Bay movies like boom, 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 boom. I can crank that shit out, baby. Fuck you, Hollywood. Take the easy way out. Oh, Michael. Don't get me on my. See, Michael Bay fucks me up and I can't see straight.
I know you can't even see straight. Now your face is all red. I'll change the subject then.
Yeah, go ahead.
One of the ones that it wasn't scary, but again, very realistic in the way that it could go down, and it's got some really fucking over the top shit.
Yeah.
Both of them actually, and I really enjoyed the remake. I actually like the remake better, and I know a lot of people hate hearing that, and I say it rarely. But I Spit on Your Grave.
Oh, yeah.
Has some really. Don't go to the woods alone if you're a good-looking mid-20s female, for fuck's sake.
Right. Right.
And especially don't invite them to your house to repair things. But anyway, that fucking movie, that was one of the first things that popped into my head because the violence, the in both movies, the over-the-top rape scenes, I can barely watch. It's just it's wrong and it's fucked and it's. And the fucking monster they create from doing that. Like, her ways of killing these motherfuckers are just like, whoa.
Right.
That was one of the ones that popped in my head for woods, because most of it happens in the woods, and she's at a cabin on a private lake and shit.
Right.
And it was like, I understood that she went out there to get away from it all, to do some writing, and, but man, it just seemed like such a bad idea.
I know.
And immediately, you stop and ask the local hicks for directions to where you're staying, and alone, obviously. I mean, even if she wasn't, I would have said, yeah, my brother and his 3 Marine Corps buddies are coming up and meeting me too. I can't.
Right.
I would
Not
never say,
like,
I'm going to be
I'm
all alone.
alone.
Yeah,
All alone.
No. Yeah. It's just horrible. and again, another one where I think I'm impacted. I love the monster movies and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm heavily impacted by the real life scenarios.
Yes. They're
possible.
Those
and
are different. Those hit you different.
The topic of the woods.
Yeah.
It's so possible out there.
Horror movies where it's a guy, just a regular guy. It could be you the watcher. Could be either or. You could be that guy, or you could be the victim watching those movies. And you come away from those movies feeling different than you do with a monster movie. Because you don't watch a monster movie and, like, put yourself necessarily in the Blob's position.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where with, a movie about, like, just a killer, like in a real life, realistic murder, like, you can put yourself in both positions when they do it right and they do it well.
Right.
When
especially
it's
if you're an unbalanced person.
The unstoppable killing machine, you don't, like, really relate to.
No.
You know what I mean? Which is, I think, what made Michael different, because you're like, what is his motivation? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is going on with him?
Of Michael, I saw a trailer thing this morning of an explanation of a new movie coming out.
Okay.
And there was one of the things that's really been bugging me was the brother twist. Because to me, if
Jamie Lee Curtis and
if they're not,
him,
if they're not brother and sister, I'm gonna kill my dog.
Try a stranger.
What would be his motivation so many times coming back? The only thing that Laurie Strode would be, is the girl that got away.
Right.
To me, that would be the
I
only.
agree.
Do you know what I mean?
That bitch got away.
Yeah, like the only one that got away. Yeah, and now and so he's waiting in this mental institution for 40 years now, and she's doing nothing but prepping to kill him. Yeah, that's the new storyline. Yeah, because without that brother-sister dynamic, I was a bit confused about how it was all going to go down and why.
That's a real good point.
Traveling across the country to kill your sister because you came from a crazy fucked up family makes a lot more sense than just the girl that got away.
I think
you can kill.
I think the girl that got away makes more sense.
That's how it feels.
Why would you want to kill your sister? What the fuck's wrong with you? Okay, explain that. Like,
but I saw the bond. You know what I mean? The brother sister bond. Now it's
why would he want to kill her? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like,
so
I
Halloween
never was into the brother and sister thing.
I bought it.
I liked one in the sense that it's just so random.
Dude.
Like, it's just boom, random. And they took away that randomness when they made, there's a deeper story. Like,
and that's what they're erasing, because this is technically Halloween 2 now. This is 40 years later after Halloween 1 ended.
They're like, if there was Halloween 1, this is Halloween 2, fuck everything else.
Right.
I kind of like that.
Starting over.
I kind of do.
I'm on board with it. I'm excited about it.
I'm okay with it because it looks good.
Right.
If it was just another bad Michael movie,
I'd still go see it. I'd still go see
it, but I wouldn't.
Not necessarily.
I'd be disappointed.
The Rob Zombie remakes weren't that exciting to me.
I'll tell you what I dislike worse than the Rob Zombie ones is the fucking one where Jamie Lee Curtis has the son, and I think so. I don't know.
The one where they're at the private school?
They were at the fucking school with fucking LL Cool J.
Yeah, as the gatekeeper guy.
It was not a good movie.
It was bad.
It was so bad.
So bad.
It was... I've watched it 3 times, I think. Which is not a lot of times for a Halloween movie for me. Like, that's nothing. Like that.
Over here.
So, yeah. Back on topic.
Yeah.
What's your next woodsy one?
So I got a few here. You know what came up? I was just, they're the obvious ones that popped up, and I was looking through like my own personal movies, and they're all the obvious ones that we've kind of already talked about.
Right.
So I was like, I'll look around on the internet, and maybe something will pop up where I was like, oh yeah, and a lot of movies that I didn't expect were popping up, like Predators,
Right.
A Dreamcatcher
All right.
popped
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Which it takes place in a cabin, takes place in the woods, a lot of it anyway.
Right. Just watched that recently, actually.
Yeah.
Like within the last couple months.
Yeah. I
Didn't
haven't watched it in forever. Haven't watched
it. But it
was good. Like with anything with Stephen King, read the book.
Right. Yeah.
Totally fun book. They had to do some things to shorten it up.
Always.
And make it kind of make more sense. Like a lot of it's kind of cerebral, the book, so you can't really like do it with film unless you're going to narrate.
Right.
You know,
which they do a lot of Stephen King movies.
They kind of have to a lot of the times, you know, because when you want to do a book right, there's a lot of narration in books. You know, it's not all just dialogue.
Lots of character development.
Yeah. Inner thoughts. A lot of that shit going on, but Dreamcatcher came up, which
Predator and Predators are both good Woods movies.
I was shocked how much I like Predators. The
Adrian Brody
kind of reboot, the Predator reboot they did.
Right. I liked the concept. It was
super
good
cool.
Movie. I like how they woke up falling. Like they're
holy shit. Can you imagine?
No. That's why it was a good start. I liked that.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep.
All of a sudden.
And they didn't, those parachutes opened pretty close to the ground.
yeah, just enough to stop you and thump you into the ground.
Yeah. It was, I really liked that movie a lot. I thought the characters were very cool comic book type characters. Right. You know what I mean? Like they each had like a very specific like niche that they filled out, super cool. And then they were all really cool characters.
Yeah, they were. I liked the samurai guy, the Yakuza guy.
The Yakuza is a lot of people's favorite. Like that.
It was cool.
The fight scene between
I liked how it was a bunch of soldiers and a dude in a suit.
I know.
And he had what were they, gold plated 45s or chrome? I can't remember. He had a pair of 45s that were fucking shiny.
It was one. He had one like custom.
No, he had two. He had the.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure he had the double.
Either way, they were like custom, like 92 Fs,
Nice guns.
And he took his shoes off.
Totally.
I'm going to fucking ruin my shoes. Just took them off. Running around barefoot and shit.
Which is something I could never do.
Me neither. But, like a legit, like, camping movie, like what I was thinking of initially. What was it? Oh, Willow Creek is a movie that I discovered the last few years. The Bobcat Goldthwait
Bigfoot movie.
Written and directed Bigfoot movie.
Still haven't seen it. It's on my list.
Supposed to Willow Creek, where Willow Creek was where Roger Patterson and Peter Gimlin filmed the fucking notorious like Patty Bigfoot footage.
Right.
Like to this day. Either the best Bigfoot footage ever,
right.
or the most ridiculous fucking guy in an ape suit joke. That's like the longest lasting gag ever.
Agreed.
One of the two. It's one of the two. It's one of the two. And there are days I look at that film footage and I'm like, that looks awesome. And there are days I look at it and I'm like, that is a guy in a monkey suit with a big foam ass. Which is what it looks like a lot. It looks like a guy with a big, like, foam rubber, like, diaper, kind of like around, like, a fur suit type thing.
It looks like the gorilla rental suit from the...
That's what it looks like to you. See, there are times where I look at it, it's not... here's the thing about that footage. It's not... great footage. It's grainy and there's not a lot of definition there. So your brain fills in a lot of the spots that aren't quite looking quite right. Like they could be fake.
Especially if you want it to be real.
Right. So I don't trust my opinion of the Patterson Gimlin footage because I kind of want it to be real. There are certain frames of that footage where I look at it and I'm like, that is the worst fucking suit. Like, it just bends in ways that it's clearly a suit. And then there's other shots, like, from the bottom of the foot it's like, man, that's a really good suit, though. You know what I mean? And maybe that's probably all it is. It's just a really good suit. You know, it's just they paid attention to detail,
and they had a good location. They
had a great location.
You know,
and
like that log blocking half of it, and it was
were.
It worked out in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and you can talk about this footage for hours, but there is, it is fact that I think Gimlin purchased Hollywood-made Bigfoot ape suit, maybe 6 months earlier.
Right. I think that was part of that.
And that disappeared. It disappeared.
Right.
It was custom made for him to make a movie about Bigfoot.
Right.
And then it disappeared. So...
Damn it. Right.
You'd kind of be an asshole if you didn't, think it was that same suit.
Right.
But yeah, Willow Creek was a really cool Bobcat Goldthwait. It's about a couple who are, and the guy of this guy and girl couple is making like a bad office phone fucking Bigfoot movie, and they go to Willow Creek. They go to where that footage was shot, and the Bigfoot comes there's he's like the Jason Voorhees of the movie. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's more like the Blair Witch in the movie. Is really what he was. That's really what this movie reminded me of, was Blair Witch. And I really liked it, a lot, a lot. And I don't know if I liked it that much more because I knew it was fucking Bobcat fucking Goldthwait that wrote and directed this movie. Right. I think it was. When I knew it was him, I was open to it in a way that I probably wouldn't have been before.
Right.
I don't give a lot of these fucking horrible Sci-Fi Channel Bigfoot movies a chance. Yeah, they're not good.
A dozen and they're bad.
They're bad, man. He's a wasted monster. They haven't really... This was the first really good kind of scary Bigfoot movie I saw.
#Red Squatch.
I'm ready to fucking break that fucking mold, dude. Let's start making good Bigfoot movies. But yeah, Willow Creek was one. What else you got?
Again, I'm going to talk another remake.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. Family Camping.
I've never seen this.
The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh, The Hills Have Eyes. I was like, Family Camping? What the fuck is this?
It's a Family Camping.
The Hills Have Eyes.
The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah, I like the original. I like the remake.
I like both of them.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Again, terrifying motherfuckers. Middle of nowhere. Nothing you can do about it. We take cell service for granted. We always think that we're safe with that fucking cell phone.
Uh-huh.
The random places that
I've been
not
a satellite phone,
fishing,
homie.
Exactly.
People don't get it.
Not such good service out there.
Yeah, people don't get it. Those fucking towers got to be pretty fucking close. They're all over the place.
Yep.
People just don't notice them.
Right.
They're all over the fucking place, And
they're
not
new
out
ones
there.
in town that are they're painted like palm trees.
Yeah, they're not out there, man. But
another one I got that
I
have to always promote because it's a small film. We've talked about it before on our B movies list. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
It's made by David Arquette, I believe.
Okay.
It's called The Tripper, and it's about a festival out in the woods, and kids start dying off due to a killer that's wearing a Richard Nixon mask and an axe.
We never talked about this.
I did. I love this fucking movie.
I don't remember ever hearing about this fucking movie.
The core of the story is
The Tripper.
It's about a logger situation that a bunch of tree huggers stopped the logging industry, and then years later, these people go out to have a festival, and it's put on by Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubens.
Is he Paul Rubens in the movie?
He's Paul Rubens. No, he's not playing himself.
Okay.
He's playing this a hippie douchebag festival promoter.
Oh, and those guys.
He doesn't care about the kids dying off. He needs to make his money.
Money.
And
yeah.
And there's Jason Mewes is in it. As one of the hippie kids in the van going out there to smoke pot and listen to all these bands.
Scooby-Doo.
Totally. Great woods movie. Kids dying off,
And he's dressed like Richard Nixon, the killer?
He's got a mask on, a rubber Richard Nixon mask, and he's wearing a suit
So it's a slasher flick.
I take that back. It's Ronald Reagan.
It's Ronald Reagan.
It is Ronald Reagan.
Okay.
It's a rubber mask. It's a slasher flick. It's a dude with an axe.
Okay.
Killing off kids in the woods.
Okay. Gotcha.
You know? And there's the sheriff that, wants to shut down the festival, but there's the shitty promoter that, it's only a couple people dead. You can't cancel it.
He's like the mayor from Jaws.
Exactly. Exactly. It's pretty much that movie with a guy with an axe instead.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Don't close the festival.
We can't close the beaches.
So, it's called The Tripper. It's it might be a challenge to find for some people, but it's out there. Find it.
A lot of people remake Jaws using
other mediums.
Yeah, other creatures, other killers. It's a great formula.
I have to mention one always. I've mentioned it at least 20 different times, and you always make the same face. And one of these days, I'm going to corner you into fucking loving this movie. It kills me. But another kid's going to the woods to camp. Fucking Pumpkinhead.
Do the kids go camping?
That's what they're doing. They're going out to ride dirt bikes and go camping, and they end up killing this dude's kid on accident.
It is, isn't it? They're camping out
they
there.
go out to a cabin.
Yeah. You're right.
Yep.
Lance Henriksen. You sons of bitches!
You killed my kid.
You Klingon bastards!
Right.
You killed my son.
Right.
Klingon.
It's always worth a mention. I love Pumpkinhead, and it is in the woods camping. And you just mentioned Blair Witch, which again I like the remake a lot.
So much.
Good stuff.
You know what I liked about the Hills Have Eyes remake? A lot was
it had some graphic shit.
Graphic. Well,
some of that movie was hard for me to watch.
I really liked the dad, the guy from Silence of the Lambs, Buffalo Bill. He was the dad, the retired cop.
Dude, with like a mustache and shit, right? Like
totally
different look.
He gained like 30
pounds.
It
is him, isn't it?
Oh, it's that voice,
It
dude.
is. You're right.
That voice, I can't get it out of my fucking brain.
There was a couple scenes for me that put that movie to the top of the list.
The Hills Have Eyes
remake. Yeah. Like when they break into the motorhome and they start breastfeeding on that lady because she had a baby before they take the baby.
Disturbing.
Very.
Disturbing shit.
For me,
they were like animals. They were wolves.
They were.
They were wolves.
They were wolf scouts, pretty much.
They were wolves. They lived like wolves in the wild. But they, and I also loved like the
burn that dude alive on the tree.
They lived. They were a family of hillbillies that lived. Descendants of frontiers people who had lived on this land out in the desert for as long as white people had been there, and wouldn't get off of it even after the military bought it and used it to test nuclear weapons.
Yes.
And the atomic bomb, and their genetics pay the price. And
then now they're actually living in these like dilapidated houses that they blew up for testing. They've got like the old iron fucking refrigerator and shit in there.
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
it's not woods, but it's still camping. They were out in the New Mexico desert instead of the woods.
I liked there's the remake, right, and then there's the sequel to the remake.
Yes.
I like that one too.
Yeah.
I like. Yeah. There's nothing. There is no The Hills Have Eyes that I don't like.
Yeah, I liked all.
There's
of it.
the original, and then there's the sequel to the original, and then there's the remake, and then the sequel to and all four of them are good fucking horror.
Top notch horror.
All of them. None of them are bad.
Right.
And that was what's his fuck. You like him a lot. I like him too. I will never. Wes Craven. Yeah, I can't put down Wes Craven.
I'm not a huge Freddy fan.
I was about to say
but
for Freddy alone.
Separate Freddy from Wes Craven.
Like Freddy's a huge
got
horror
some amazing
icon.
movie. Yeah.
Like
he is. It's huge.
Oh fuck! I want to do that.
The ladies love that. Yeah.
Like I want to make a Freddy a Jason. Like what's funny is a lot of these characters like didn't become the icons they were until like 2 or 3 movies in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Freddy terrified me though. The
Freddy
first
was
one
different
was
in the first one,
and the third one was.
The second
funny,
one he was different too. The third one is the Freddy that we know now.
Right.
There's a lot of comedy,
slapstick one-liners,
bitch every other word, bitch.
Right.
He's like
welcome to the big time.
He's not about scaring you as much as it's about like breaking you down and humiliating you and scaring you as well, but definitely just tearing you apart. Yeah, Wes Craven. He did those.
I got another one.
The first one.
Falls into the category kind of. It's a resort. So
I'll take
not
it.
necessarily camping.
I'll take
it's a resort.
It sounds big. It's vacation.
It's vacation.
It's holiday.
Yeah. It's and I know it's one of your favorite movies because you mentioned before you named a dog after it. I'm pretty sure. But Club Dread.
Oh yeah,
a lot of Penelope.
Yeah,
a lot of that stuff happens, in the woods. It's rainforest, but it's
where
where else can you get killed by a giant piece of fruit or
too funny, man?
It's got some good gore though. It gets passed along as not being a horror movie because it's done by the Super Troopers guys.
It's
the
really
Broken Lizard camp.
Broken Lizard.
But they came in good with the horror. It's actually got some good horror, and it's got boobs, so it's a slasher flick.
It does. It's a slasher flick for sure, in every sense of the term.
It makes my list of it's camping-ish.
I love that movie. You know what's funny? If Club Dread is on, and Super Troopers is on, I will stop and watch Club Dread. I'll probably pass by Super Troopers.
Yeah, I've seen it a lot, but I love them both.
I do. I love Super Troopers. Who doesn't?
Right.
Mustache Ride.
Yeah, you just can't help it. Another one for me on that same level is Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yeah, that came up too. I was looking at
it's got some solid horror in it, even though it's got a lot of comedy relief.
It's definitely a cabin, and it's got good gore.
It does.
It's got good gore. They did a good job.
Half a kid and a wood chipper, man.
Yeah, they did a lot.
They even make bee stings look horrific. I mean, his face is so fucking bloated.
Gnarly, dude.
That's a great woods movie.
You get fucking stung enough times in the fucking face, and it's gonna look really bad.
And it's got that crazy old school woods element too, like the backstory of the killer and everything. You got the logging camp situation. And shit.
Yeah. Logging camps. There's a good.
There's always the camping stories. Logging camps and fucking like butcher places on top of the list.
Dude, you're nothing but men. Axes and chainsaws everywhere. Just fucking tension, man.
Hooks.
I'm telling you.
There's always hooks.
Fucking, what's a horror movie that falls into the category of like real life horror? And it's a horror movie. It's not touted as a horror movie, but it's a horror movie. It's fucking Deliverance, dude.
I don't care what anybody says. It's a horror movie.
That is a horror movie.
Holy fuck! That's a great one in the woods. That made a lot of people not want to go in the woods.
People were like, "We need to get police and go to the south and go to the woods and just clear out the woods. Just clear them out,
right?
Because this can't happen."
Right?
Like holy shit.
You hear banjos.
These people are like. You know what's funny? When I was living in Tennessee, I was living in Franklin, Tennessee, right outside of Nashville as a kid in high school. Just old enough to have my fucking license, which isn't great.
Right.
Because I went, just driving around. And I found myself on this back road this one time, stopped at this fucking gas station that looked like it was out of a fucking movie, man. Just fucking like a horror movie, dude.
Right.
Went inside. They were serving bologna sandwiches with like huge slices of bologna. Like huge, thick. Like giant thick slice, and I was like, I'll get that. And got that, and the lady, they were surprisingly nice to me, dude. They were super cool, which was weird because the people in town, like the kind of the Nashville folks with money, did not like us being there.
Right.
Did not like.
I got you.
The Yankees, but these wrong turn people,
right?
Right? Like they were super. They just wanted my money. They didn't give a shit. They were like, "Yeah, buy a fucking bologna sandwich, motherfucker, all day.
Good,
how
actually.
are you?"
Right,
They just wanted my
what kind
money.
of places where it says homemade beef jerky and you're hesitant?
Well, yeah, it was probably fucking deer. I'm sure it was venison
or the last rude customer
because they did have homemade beef jerky and it looked like venison. But yeah, it was wild, man. I've never seen a gas station like that in my life. But There are other places though that are not as friendly. I am not. That was a rarity because there were a lot of places I went where I got a lot of bad looks,
Right.
scary looks, intentionally scary. Like, get out of our town.
Right.
We don't know
been to
you.
those places too.
It was like, "Ugh, I'm leaving. But yeah, Deliverance is one
That is a for sure horror movie in the woods, for sure.
it was Burt Reynolds, man.
Yeah. Right?
You know? Fucking A.
Back in the day when he was a boss, too.
Fucking A, dude. He was a badass in
He
that
was.
fucking movie. Dude, when he comes and saves the fucking day, holy
Right.
shit.
It's a
I was
bow and arrow and shit.
Yeah,
It's
he
fucking
does it
pretty tight.
Rambo style. Before Rambo,
The
dude.
First Blood shit.
Before First Blood, you know, like
Right.
just fucking. I think that's where fucking
That's where
they
they
got
got
the
the
idea.
idea for
Yeah, because fuck, dude, he was fucking people up with that fucking bow and arrow. Great movie.
Another one in the woods, not necessarily intentionally camping, but broke down, kind of.
Yeah,
And on the theme of the South,
yeah,
we got to mention Hatchet.
dude.
They're in the woods. They're fucked.
Crowley.
There's a cabin.
Crowley.
There's even a cemetery.
I prefer 2.
I do too. And 3 as well. I like them all. But 2, I think, is my favorite.
2 is my favorite.
They've already established the characters, so it's just on.
It's
just
fucking
killing it. It's
on from the get.
Yeah.
And they replaced the girl with a way better girl.
Yeah.
They replaced her with
With
Danielle
Danielle
Harris,
Harris.
which you can never go wrong with Danielle Harris.
She looks great with all the tattoos now. and
Dude,
stuff.
she looks awesome. She just had a baby.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Uh-huh.
Who finally nails her down? Somebody famous?
Some nerdy looking guy.
Of course.
I'm sure he makes good money and he's super sweet.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a great guy and he makes good money and he's super normal.
So we were talking about one right before we started recording that I told you I watched last night, and you had seen it too. And I think it's got a solid honorable mention for being new. The Ritual. It's
Holy shit!
Netflix movie.
We're at The Ritual.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Loved The Ritual.
It was definitely worth watching.
I'm glad you brought it up because I'd totally fucking forgotten about The Ritual. Completely forgot about it.
Really?
I saw it, was like, oh my god. Told my girlfriend about it, like, and then this happened, and then that happened, and then went to sleep and forgot I ever saw that movie.
Right.
Until you were like, dude, I saw this movie. It was called The Ritual. And all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. I was like, holy fuck, you're right.
It had a lot of scary woods, and it had some really cool, really graphic scenes of the woods. One of my favorite parts of that movie was there's a body slung up in a tree, and the other trees around it, the branches are brought in as if hugging it, like stabbing into the body and shit.
Dude.
And it was just solid fucking horror, scary.
The woods were what was scary.
And it's when you start losing those
Not
time lapses, like the Blair Witch,
Yeah.
where it just seems to like stop being normal rotations of day. It starts being foggy. You're not sure if it's ever becoming day again.
It's like, what has
It's
happened?
the longest night ever.
We are lost.
And
in
those
these
all
fucking
those
woods.
crashes and madness, like like we were talking about, like out of just out of your flashlight's distance.
Just
it's-
just beyond the thick of the brush, where your flashlight stops penetrating.
Yeah.
The depths of the
and when
brush.
you hear the crashing, it
Which
signifies
isn't-
something big.
With
and
most
that's
woods,
scary.
your flashlight stops working after like
The
not
first 3
far.
rows of trees, it's
Yeah,
not so good
there's
because
a
the
lot
trees
of-
are so
And
intermittent.
of course, it depends on the woods, but
Sure. But you don't always have the luxury of breaking down in an orchard where they're in line. Which is
Rows,
still scary,
open
scary
rows.
kind of,
even
because
scarier.
it's dropped in
maybe.
another direction. Yeah.
But the ritual.
It had a pretty much a no-name cast to me, other than, like I told you, the
There's
main
nobody.
character is the guy who said you got red on you from fucking
Yeah,
Shaun of the Dead.
there's fucking nobody.
But it didn't
dude.
need it. It was just solid scary.
It's one of those horror movies where it's a good enough story.
And another underlying thing that you should just always put in your pocket and save for later. If you're out in the woods and you're totally fucked, just because someone else has a cabin there does not mean you're allowed to go in it. It happens in so many movies where you think, no one's here, I need shelter.
Okay.
I would never break and enter on a
I have
place
been
like
out in the
that.
woods, no shit, and come across a house.
You
Just
never
like-
have come across a cabin?
Oh no, I have.
Oh, yeah.
A house, like a house. You know,
Right.
I guess it's a cabin. I guess
Right.
technically this is in the woods, but it's not like logs. You
Right,
know what I mean? It's
right.
like shit thrown
Right.
together, and I'm like, whoa. Did I go in? Fuck no, I didn't go in.
Right?
I'm
Did
not
you even
walking
think
in
about
some
disturbing that person?
Even
for
if I gotta
fuck's sake?
sleep out there, I'm definitely, certainly not going in there and sleeping in it. Fuck you.
Or eating their food.
Because
or
then
just
whoever
kicking it.
was out hunting is going to come home at 3 o'clock in the morning, exhausted,
Exactly.
maybe hurt. you
Or
know?
maybe just the kind of person that moved out there to
Get
not
away
be
from
around people. And the first thing
Yeah.
that you want that guy to see is you in his house.
No.
Trespassing. Fuck no.
No. Yeah, too many. Yeah, that's a horror movie kind of cliche that I disagree with.
Right.
It's like come up with another reason for them to be in this house.
Sure.
You know, other than like, oh, we gotta sleep out here. Might as well be in this strange fucking home.
Exactly.
No one does that.
But if you do have Netflix, check out The Ritual. It'll probably be on there for a while. It's a Netflix movie. But solid. Good
you know what else I
monster.
liked about
the
that
monster.
movie? The monster.
The god.
The Norse myth. There are a lot of cultures that are untapped horror, like wells, man.
Right?
You know,
Just
like
we don't
gold
know about
mines
them,
that we
sure.
haven't tapped yet. You know, lots of
Right.
culture, lots of weird folk tales and shit that we haven't used in movies. This movie, The Krampus, The Grudge, you
Yeah.
know, like they're starting to like. And again, I think The Ritual is a foreign movie. I think it's a foreign film. I think
It's gotta be. It's a
Um,
bunch of English dudes filmed in fucking Switzerland.
Sweden,
Sweden,
right? Or
Sweden,
Norway.
Norway.
Is it Norway? I think it's
Crossing
Norway.
between one
Holland,
to the other.
something like that. Some old Viking Norse fucking country.
Great monster though.
Ooh,
monster.
so good, man.
Really cool.
Such a good monster, bro.
Love it.
Fucking awesome monster, dude.
Oh, another one gotta bring up.
hmm.
It made its mark for its time. I personally don't think it's that great of a movie, but it gets its props.
Okay.
Cabin Fever.
I love Cabin
Do
Fever.
you?
It's so gross.
It is gross.
It's so gross.
There's a solid amount of gore.
And again,
Solid.
one of those situations where this can happen. There are flesh-eating bacteria, you know. It doesn't work as
Included
fast as it
water
does in this.
sources are
You know,
scary to begin with.
there's a lot. Have you ever seen some of the fucking shit that people get in like third world countries that have like, you know, poisoned water and like they're just rotting. Parts of them are rotting and shit. It's like holy, and it stinks.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they're gonna die and shit. It's just horrible.
Decaying. Yeah, it had a lot of solid gore. Man.
Good gore in Cabin Fever.
It had a menstrual moment.
There's a lot of pukey moments
It's got some
in
good
Cabin
gore.
Fever. There's the one character, the dumbass. You know the dumbass, the fool in Cabin Fever.
Yes.
He was in a great movie that I really love. That's not a horror movie; it's a comedy. It's called Detroit Rock City.
I love that movie.
He's the
Going to
dumbass.
see
in-
Kiss?
Yeah,
It's a
he's the
great fucking
dumbass in
movie.
Detroit Rock City.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That I was, I'm watching Cabin Fever, and I'm like, oh fuck, it's the dumbass from fucking Detroit Rock City.
That's where I knew him from, actually.
That's where I
When
knew.
I
That's
saw
where I
Cabin
knew him
Fever, I
from.
was like, that dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I couldn't. And there's a couple of guys in Cabin Fever.
He goes and shakes his ass.
The
doesn't he?
cop,
He's
you know, the
like,
cop that's in Cabin Fever. He was in Detroit Rock City.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm wondering if Eli Roth had anything to do with Detroit
I
Rock
don't
City.
know.
Do you know what I
Or
mean?
just grabbed a surplus
Like a
of
second unit director or something.
Maybe.
Do you know what I mean? Like, is there a
Free
reason why he's
coffee
using
boy
these actors?
grip,
Something like that, right?
Had a
We all
rapport
start
with them.
somewhere,
Right.
you know. And I'm real curious, and I keep meaning to like look up the info on Detroit Rock City and see
That was
if
a
I
good
see
movie.
Eli Roth's name anywhere.
I liked that movie.
It's
lot.
such a good fucking
It's
movie,
it's a
dude.
Great adventure.
It's so fun.
Like,
you know.
none of my trips to go to concerts were that extremely awesome.
No, but
we
they
had
were always
a lot
cool.
of adventures, though, like that. That was a good movie. I
Yeah,
forgot about that movie.
Detroit Rock City
Yeah, I need to
is
watch that.
a really fun
I
movie.
liked it.
What
What else you got?
Let's see. Talk about Evil Dead. Without warning, I gotta talk about this movie real quick.
You did.
The Jack Palance movie.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
There's another actor in it, like an Oscar-winning actor in this movie.
Right.
Who's the guy who played Bela Lugosi in Ed Wood? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say Walter Matthau, and I know that's not his name.
It sounds right.
Oh, it's Martin Landau.
Martin Landau. Yeah, you're close. Yeah. Yeah. He's a creepy dude.
He's in this movie. It's like Vietnam vet and burned out gas station attendant. These two old, like crotchety old men take on this monster in the woods that everyone's kind of thinking is Bigfoot, but turns out is an alien that throws these.
I wrote it down last time.
Like
you said that
sucker things. Like there are these, like, check it out. It's like almost like a nipple with a sucker on the back and like claws on it.
Okay.
It's like if you took a waffle made out of skin and put like claws on it, and it like whips these things at you, and they stick on you like they. I don't
Sounds
know.
so familiar.
I guess they like shoot poison into you or something,
okay.
and eventually you die after you get hit with these things. But it's a slasher movie in the sense that you never see the creature; you just see these things getting thrown. And
coming from the darkness.
You know, instead of a knife, it's these you know.
Okay.
It's a really weird
knifey
fucking
waffle.
movie.
Knifey skin waffle.
Skin waffle.
I like that.
Dude,
it's that maybe my new saying.
fucking
knifey skin waffle.
You gotta see it. It's worth watching. It's really bizarre, man. It's super strange. And Jack Palance and fucking Martin Landau are in it.
Yeah,
like
so it's worth
like,
a watch anyway.
It's so weird, dude. It's the main cast sucks. They're really bad. I recognize that they're like young, early '80s Hollywood, like been in a lot of bad,
like people that are in the bad sci-fi movies now.
Yes, now.
Yeah,
and like we're like extras in like police academies and shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you were the fucking new rookie cop on Police Academy 8. You know, like that guy.
Right. That's great.
It's that movie, but it's fun. Yeah, Without Warning. That's the name of that motherfucker. There was one.
I got one. I can't believe you haven't said. Beat me to it because I know you love this movie and it's a good woodsy one too.
Yeah.
Great effect. We've talked about it before, but like if you haven't checked it out, Troll Hunter.
Love Troll Hunter.
Is a great woodsy.
It's a total woodsy. We're in the woods.
Oh, some of the trees moving. It's fucking troll. It's
fucking
giant.
cool, man.
It's fucking cool.
You know what's cool? Okay. Is it a horror movie? Maybe in the Hitchcockian sense.
Okay.
Right? Do you ever see The Grey?
Liam Neeson?
Yeah.
Fighting a wolf?
Eventually. At the
end.
I
haven't seen it. I know it from box cover or maybe even just Netflix cover. But
good fucking movie.
Good woodsy movie, though.
Yo, yeah.
You seen The Revenant?
I have. Yeah.
That was a good woodsy movie, too. That not a horror movie, but that fight scene with the bear is
fucking
horrific.
Gross.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, bear fucks him up. Like he's like it's a.
And it was so lengthy. It was hard to watch after like the first 30 seconds.
It's like,
okay.
Well, they're like, well, bear's attack don't end after 30 seconds.
We're trying not to do the Hollywood version.
Yeah, like this is what it's really like.
Cut open that horse and
please
spend the night
be careful in the fucking woods.
Right.
You know, like people I think forget that bears are out there. A lot of people get attacked by shit.
Sure.
Bears.
Wrong place, wrong time.
You know what people are getting attacked by a lot recently?
Lions.
Mountain lions are fucking jumping on people
thing,
like a motherfucker.
Yep.
And you know what? I think mountain lions have evolved to start accepting us in their environment and are
we're everywhere.
Testing us out as a potential food source. You know, clearly.
Right.
You know,
right.
Like, hey, there's meat running through my yard. Let's try it out.
Because out of all the things that are out there that are their food source, I'm probably the slowest.
The most just looks
right.
awkward.
If I can't get in my car fast enough, I'm food.
They see somebody like zipping by on a bike, and they're
gazelle,
ding, poof, and they're on them, and then they bite into you, and it's meat. You know, and they're like, "Oh, let's go," you know,
right.
and they got to go out and kill them. which sucks, you know.
Of course.
But I guess there's a lot of them, so I get it. I guess they've been like breeding like cats.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like there's a lot
And
of
they're
them.
creeping more so
Yeah.
out of their environment to ours, fucking looking for food and shit.
Yeah.
It happens a lot with raccoons.
Yeah.
And
Have you heard
all
about
kinds
the
of shit.
fucking off topic? But this is interesting. Have you heard about the fucking Arizona Jaguars? There are jaguars that have like
Shut the
moved
fuck
up through Mexico, and they're
Jaguars.
Jaguars. Yeah. Like the
I picture lots of different ones. I don't know why I'm picturing a Black Panther, but Jaguar like spotted.
Yeah, jaguars
Coming
have
up from like South America.
from South America through
And-
through from Central America up through Mexico
and making
into
it here.
yeah, finding
Wow.
a way to like make
I would
it
shit myself
in
if I saw
southern
one of those.
Arizona, dude. Jaguars for the first time in thousands of years, apparently. It's
Weird.
real interesting. There's massive change going on. Seriously, no fucking more
Oh,
monsoon.
shit.
No monsoon.
Dude, it got windy the other day. That's about it. It was a fucking dirt storm instead of a rainstorm. Fucking shitty.
But I
What
got
else
a
you
movie
got?
idea. Check this out. You
Okay.
got to hear this, all right? I figure I need to bring at least one movie idea to the table a week.
Okay.
That's my fucking goal.
Okay.
No matter how bad it might be, no matter how hard my week might have been, I could come up with at least one that I can see in my mind as being a good movie, potentially.
Okay.
The way I see it, at least. I might not be able to explain how good of a movie, like my vision properly, but I'll try. Now, how familiar are you with Norwegian black metal?
I'm just gonna go ahead and say not.
Nah.
I know what it is.
Okay.
I get it. Most of the time, I can't read the name of the band.
You're right.
Like,
Yeah.
rarely.
It's just too stylized.
Yeah.
It's like, what is the
Yeah.
what?
It-
Blah, blah, blah.
But yeah, I get it. I know what they look like. I know that. I know the movement.
Dressed like
We'll go that
elves. No. So when that scene first like kicked off in the early '90s, late '80s, like Mayhem and Burzum and shit, they were burning churches and shit. Like there was like a whole movement that they were trying to like create. I'm not saying it was good. It's just shocking. You know what I mean? That this actually happened.
Okay.
There was a whole movement that they were trying to kick Christianity out of the Netherlands. Like it's a foreign religion. Like we're Norse people.
Right.
This is a Middle Eastern religion, and get the fuck out of our country. Like
Yeah.
you've been brainwashed into thinking like this is what we are. Like this is, and they started burning churches.
Okay.
It was and eventually there's a whole series of crazy violent events that eventually lead up to this one guy from one band murdering another guy from another band. And that's kind of like the official end of the first chapter of the black metal scene.
And he's so hardcore. He killed another.
He's
dude.
so hardcore. He killed it. And if you hear his side of the story, he very much like defends himself, like as he would, like, "Hey, dude said he was gonna kill me. Like I heard there was a plot to kill me. Dude kept telling people he was gonna kill me.
It sounds very Metalocalypse.
He gets me alone. I'm like,
You've watched that, right? Metalocalypse.
yeah, of course.
Okay.
Oh God, yeah. Too fun.
Death Clock.
Death Clock. Yeah,
Turn everything metal.
everything.
Blackest of black.
Right.
Like coffee.
But I think there should be, right?
Fucking shit.
Do you think? I think.
And see, that's what I thought was funny about it is they took that death metal sound and they just put like funny words to it, you know, like the opening song.
Well, they Weird Al Yankovic to death metal.
Yes, they did.
You know,
Yes, they did. That's a good way to put
it was really funny.
Okay.
But I think
So this is your movie idea?
I think it would make a really good movie. I think it would make a really, really, really good movie. It's there's a lot of cool characters in this, like, and their names alone, like what these guys call themselves, is hilarious. It's like Death Ass, fucking, you know,
Right.
fuck Bloodcock, fucking like
Right. Nice.
Did they just start calling you that? Like, no, I came up on it. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't give yourself
You can't
that.
give yourself your
Right.
nickname, buddy. Sorry. You're either that Pat ass, and that's what people call you, Bloodcock, or
Right.
you're Dennis. You know,
What
You're
else
Jimmy.
you got?
you're Eric.
I only got one left on mine, and we started off talking about it, but that was a whole other thing. But
Yeah.
that's it. Cabin in the Woods. It's
Cabin in the
great
Woods
fucking movie.
is the one. Yeah, okay. The gods. They have to
Yeah.
appease the gods.
Yes. Yeah, I loved that twist. I loved that.
I liked that they had different horror stories that the characters chose for themselves.
Yes.
Like all the cliche horror.
And I loved how there was people betting on what it was going to be.
And
too.
some not so cliche.
Mermaids,
like the
mermaids,
mermaid.
mermaids, you know.
You know? Like, God, I want to see a merman.
Right?
Me too. And we
Yeah, me
finally
too.
do at the end.
Right. Yeah,
It's
angry. You get to
fucking
see it all. Fuck,
fabulous.
when it breaks loose, Jesus Christ.
Fabulous.
But what a great movie. And I rejected seeing it for a while. Even amongst the great reviews, I was just like, I can't remember I think it's Chris Helmsworth, the guy who plays Thor. You know, I was like, why is he in it? This can't be good. This just looks like another remake of Evil Dead shit or something. And it ended up being so fucking good. I thought, I wished I hadn't waited as long
Yeah.
to see it.
I waited too.
I would have been a huge fan waiting.
I waited too because I'm a creature guy.
Yeah,
I'm a
right?
monster guy. And this thing is full of creatures.
Yeah, you
full
get a
of
multitude
monsters.
of creatures.
Every monster you could ever want. I'm pausing this movie like constantly to be
checking this
like,
out.
look at that.
Right.
And look at that. Like, holy
Yes.
shit. What the fuck is that? There are some things in that movie, like, there's the death robot. This, like, crab death robot with saws and shit on that I don't get enough of. Do you know what I mean? There's, like, something. One guy, Death by Unicorn. And the music that went with it.
Right.
The whole angelic, like,
It was very enchanting.
oh, man. I really like Cabin in the Woods. I do. I think it's a movie that, I don't know if, does it have like a strong, like, following? Cabin in the Woods?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
I think so.
You'd think so.
I think it does.
Because it's, you know who likes Cabin in the Woods? The same people that like Monster Squad. And
And I have to bring up
the Monster Squad documentary.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you
Yes.
for sending me that link.
Yes.
It's called what?
Wolfman's Got Nards, I'm pretty sure.
It is. It is.
Which is
Wolfman's Got
appropriately named.
Nards.
Yes.
And I love Monster Squad. There's a
get
couple.
enough.
There's a
get
couple
enough of
people that I saw in the trailer of that documentary who were like, there were like 6 people in the theater when I went to see it. They're like, and I don't remember it like that at all. Like I remember that theater being full of people. Like I really do. I guess like across the board, across the country, it didn't do well. But at my theater that night, like it was packed and everyone loved it.
Really?
So I had a very different like perception of how that movie was received. They talk about this movie
How
like
it just
it
bombed
bad.
And maybe what they mean by it is generated dollars. You know, like the budget versus what it brought in may have been
They
unsatisfactory.
kind of imply that it took off on video.
But it got the cult. Fuck, it did. I don't know if I saw it in the movie theater or not. To be honest with you.
I did.
But I know I rented the fuck out of that VHS.
And I was so
No
young when I
idea.
saw it in the theater. I was a little nervous.
You were a little bit scared.
I was a little nervous going in. I was like, that fucking werewolf looks fucking hardcore.
Right.
You know? There's something about werewolf transformation
I love it.
that seems so painful
Yes.
that it really bothered me as a kid. And that werewolf transformation when he's in the phone booth looked really painful. Like
Right.
he was like spitting and foaming at the mouth. And fucking,
Breathing, writhing. I mean, it's great.
he's gonna kill your
Right.
son!
Right.
Like, holy fuck!
Right?
It was fucking hardcore. Yeah, the Wolfman's Got Nards is a documentary that I need to see, like, yesterday.
Right. All right. So that's In the Woods, huh?
In the Woods. That's
All right.
another. Now I gotta think of a fucking movie for that title, to fit that title. Some of those are the best movies, you know.
Right.
Like, cool title. Like, make a movie to fit this title. You know what I mean? And then, like, something great comes
Right.
from that. Yeah.
Throw it in the think tank. We'll all fucking start.
In the woods. I got nothing.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Until next time.